I got to go see if I can play point guard because I can't be the power forward. So this idea of fairness and all that, I just don't understand that. That's a fairy tale. That's a fantasy, unfortunately, in the world that we live in, particularly in capitalist America. So I'm going to embrace the unfairness, and I'm going to hopefully do my very, very best to make the unfairness of American capitalism work in your favor, because I understand this game as well as a mother knows her own child. So let's get started on that. We talked about that dividing line between the wealthy and the middle class. It's the stock market, stock market, stock market. Why is that? Well, because for about 15 years, the Federal Reserve has pumped excessive amounts of money into the economic system. Even when President Obama went into office and they said, oh my gosh, the economy is going to crash, the market's crashing, the real estate market's crashing, blah, blah, blah. They could have easily, and I'm not blaming this on Barack. I mean, he's a politician. They got to do what they do. But, they could have easily taken that money and said, okay, let's help people make their mortgage payment. Let's go to Main Street and help out the small business. They could have done that and still propped up the economy, but they didn't do that, did they? They said, oh, well, let's go give $700 billion to Wall Street and focus on that trickle-down economics. So they take their bonuses off the top. They always going to get their bonuses on Wall Street. And then the economy did actually get, the system was restored from this move. But there are a lot of people down here that didn't get any of the benefits. And that, unfortunately, is what you see. So here's the thing. Participating in the stock market, not only does that do things for you generationally that literally accelerate you to a level that most of us only grew up dreaming about, but the other beautiful thing about it is it allows you to make money without working. How many of you grew up hearing things like, if you don't work, you don't eat? I heard that every day. Or I grew up watching people get up and go to work. They didn't enjoy their jobs. And I thought that if you were lazy and if you did not work, you can't possibly make money. That doesn't make any sense. But then I got exposed to some things. When I was on the faculty of Syracuse University and I taught a lot of kids who were a lot of different backgrounds, very few of them black, I saw a lot of really lazy, almost pathetic human beings who would just sit around and get high and drunk every day that were making more money than people that were working hard every day. That's just what it is. Well, where does that come from? Well, it comes from the fact that somebody in their family did some work and did some planning and made some investments and gave them the best gift that you can give to your child, which is a capital base. A capital base is nothing more than a collection of resources that they have available to them that allow them to kind of eat off the resources so you don't actually have to starve that day. You don't actually have to go to work. You don't have to sell yourself into slavery in order to eat.